Hey everybody, I hope you're all doing okay. I'm back for part two because I've actually finished my DIY King of the Colosseum scratch build. I'm super excited to share with you how it looks now and sort of the process of part two. I was blown away by how many people actually saw the part one video, and all the comments and the support has been really, really great. So thank you. And I hope that I do you justice and that you enjoy seeing part two. So let's go. So this is what it looked like at the end of the last video. If you didn't see part one for whatever reason and the algorithm just sent you straight to this one. That was sort of my original sketch of the rough sort of dimensions from watching sort of PlayOn's videos and looking at the set that you can buy, sort of sketching it out. And then, that's how far I'd got on the right there. Shout out to Thrill I Am in the comments as well. If you go back to the first part, then you'll see that there are some more in-depth, more detailed, more accurate sort of dimensions and stuff there. So yeah, shout out to Thrill I Am there in the comments. So how's it looking now? Well, I first had to get some objectives onto the board. So I cracked out the pairs of compasses, and it's not the best quality photo there, but basically pencil, pair of compasses, set it to about just over 7.5 inches to account for that 40mm objective, plus then the 3 inches either side. Drew myself a nice circle just straight on with pencil, no fuss, and then carefully painted over it. Is it perfect? No, it's not a perfect circle at all there, but you know, it does the job, and I put the yellow paint straight on it and it was fine. It does the job. So I did that. There are 5 objectives on the board. I then had to put on the smaller ruins. There they are, look. So we need 4 in the centre and 4 sort of smaller ones in the corners. Yeah. So I got my foam board back out and I sort of roughly cut down to the right sort of height, just a load of rectangles, sliced them into smaller ones to make sort of 2 walls to join together in an L shape. I just sort of like hacked at it and ripped it apart, and like you can see the sort of shape there of me sort of using my hands to just rip it, and it was fine. Just PVA'd it together. I put a couple of little supporting little blocks in the corner there, as you can see, and I made one of those, and then I needed some slightly different shape ruins. I didn't go for a proper L shape for the ones that are going to sort of be out in the corners. I just went for a more straightforward sort of mini T shape, just to give a sort of horizontal wall to hide behind. And I needed 8, so I made 4 of those and 4 of those. There they are, look. I then painted them up, similar to my approach of painting the other walls, but actually I just kept it even more simple for this one. I just put a mix up a sort of dark grey, so a sort of mid-grey, bit of black in it, a bit of blue in it, and slapped that all over it, and then dry brushed it with a sort of mid-grey again. Just don't think I even added any whites to that. It's just a mid-grey, bit of a dry brush over it, a bit rough in places. And then I sort of added a bit of detail on some of them. You can see a couple of like ruined, almost like pillar type shapes there that I gave a bit of a dry brush, gave a bit of a brown sort of muddy, sandy, dusty sort of sponge to it. And yeah, sort of did that on the 8 smaller walls, ruins. And yeah, it's just a case of just sort of putting it all together then. So there's my original plan. What does it look like? I'll show you. There it is. So yeah, I actually did it. I'm a bit proud. I'm happy. It's not perfect. It's not perfect at all, but I'm happy with it. I have gone from, it's a scratch build. I have sketched it out and gone from the planning phase. I've seen it through, and I don't always see my projects through, but I'm really happy with this, and I cannot wait to get some games in on it. I'm really excited. But you might be asking or thinking, how much did it cost? So the last little part of the video here, we will break that down a little bit more, okay? I talked about some of this in part 1 in terms of the materials that I had to put into this. So some sort of sturdy board, I would recommend like 6 or 9mm MDF based on what I've done here. You can pick it up from like Wix, B&Q, those kind of sort of normal DIY type places, in the UK at least. You're probably looking at about 15 to 20 quid. Now, I think I mentioned this in part 1. I didn't actually buy any wood because we were doing some stuff at home, and there was some wood that I'd sort of salvaged, reclaimed, tidied it up, cut it up. It was absolutely fine. So that didn't actually cost me any money. And hopefully you would have some materials that you can salvage and reuse. So it is quite expensive otherwise. to go and buy sheets of wood like that. In terms of foam, I found there's a good deal at Hobbycraft. You can get these massive boards. I think they're like A1 or something like that, 4 for 12 quid. But I didn't even need all of them. I think I only used 2 or 2 and a bit. So that was fine. That sort of topped the wooden squares and it made the wall sections. And yeah, I've got quite a bit left over. So I'd say that probably cost me about 7 quid maybe, but it actually wasn't even that because I think I had like a 15% off code or something for Hobbycraft. So yeah, maybe like 6 quid. EVA foam sheets, little sort of thin, flexible, rubbery type stuff. I did use a few of them to sort of coat the bigger walls. I didn't bother with the smaller ruins, to be honest, but I coated the bigger walls in them. I did a little topper on the big curved walls, and the pillar sort of shapes are cut out of EVA foam as well. So I probably used like, I don't know, like maybe 4 or 5 sheets of them. We'll call it a fiver if you like. And then, PVA glue, some paint, some sand. I didn't actually buy any of that. I just have it anyway as part of, doing the hobby. So yeah, I probably did use like 2 or 3 quid's worth of paint and glue. I did go through a bit of PVA glue, to be honest, but didn't actually buy anything for the build. So it's up to you whether you want to include that. But, realistically, I probably spent a tenner or maybe just over a tenner in terms of actually buying stuff that had to be included in the build. If you had to buy the wood as well, or you go and, buying some particular paint or something, you could add 20 quid or so onto that. But, I've built this, I would say, for less than 15 quid, which I am super happy with. I think, obviously the time has gone into it, but that's part of the hobby, right? But, 10, 15 quid, I'm well happy with that. Let me know what you think as well. Just finishing off, a couple of acknowledgements again to Play on Tabletop and Frontline Gaming, who, I don't need to say any more than that, really. It's just, like I said last time, a bit cheeky to talk about all this sort of stuff without mentioning them. So I'll mention them. Shout out to my friendly local gaming store as well, Partisan Games in Andover. Do check them out. Website is there. If you're around sort of Hampshire area, please do go and pop in and say hello to the team, and you can book tables and stuff there. It's really great little space, usually nice and quiet as well. Yeah, and to you guys as well, because like I said, I was blown away by how many people actually watched part 1 and all the sort of nice and helpful comments and stuff. So yeah, I hope that you have enjoyed coming back to see the finished product. Like I said, I'm really looking forward to getting some games in on it. That could be something that I'll do in a future video. I don't know. I'm new to this side of things. So yeah, thanks very much, guys. Let me know if you've got any advice, any questions, comments down below. All right, have a great day. See you next time.